What's the creepiest unsolved mystery? On Thursday, December 12, 1985, a toddler was spotted wandering unaccompanied around a Kmart department store in Spanaway, Washington with no parent or guardian in sight. When authorities tried to coax information out of her to help locate her parents, the only piece of information she was able to give was, "Mommy is in the trees." A photo was placed in the local newspaper, and the toddler was soon recognized as Crystal by her maternal grandmother, Louise Conrad, who took her into her care, later saying that Crystal appeared shaken and disturbed, perhaps by something she had seen. So where was Mommy? About 2 months later, the body of Diana Robertson, Crystal's mommy, was discovered deep in the forest around Elbe, Washington, with 17 stab wounds and a tube sock tied around her neck. Nearby, an abandoned 1982 Plymouth pickup truck was discovered covered in bloodstains, and with a handwritten note on the dashboard simply saying, "I love you, Diana." This truck belonged to her partner, Mike Reamer, outdoorsman and trapper, who often spent time in these woods. Mike, however, was nowhere to be found. Initially, the police believed him to be responsible for Diana's murder. Just 2 months prior, on October 19, 1985, Mike had been arrested and cited for domestic assault and malicious damage after allegedly kicking in a door at her apartment, throwing her to the floor, and rubbing her face in the carpet. They also connected her murder to a double murder that had occurred in the same woods for months earlier. A man named Stephen Harkins was found shot to death in his sleeping bag, while his companion Ruth Cooper was found strangled 2 months later. Both had a tube sock tied around their neck. So was Mike a serial killer? He had apparently been in the woods at the very time that Harkins and Cooper were murdered, and certainly knew how to navigate the tricky terrain. But with no trace of him, there was no way to tell for certain. Over 20 years later, on March 26, 2011, a hiker discovered a partial human skull in the woods off of State Route 7 in Lewis County near Mineral, Washington, about a mile from where Diana's body had been found. Subsequent analysis revealed that it was indeed Mike, and that he was a likely homicide victim himself. So 4 murders in the same woods by an unknown assailant. The question remains, how did Crystal find herself wandering around the Kmart over 30 miles away? She must have been driven there and dropped off, presumably by the serial killer. Crystal must have spent a silent 45-minute drive in the car with the very person who killed her parents, with no memory of the event.